Good evening, I'm Dan Brightweiser. Tonight, hundreds in North Central Florida celebrated the life of Ellis McDaniel, better known as rock and roll icon Bo Diddley. While millions across the world knew him as a legendary musician, many gathered today to remember their friend, and for a few, a true lifesaver. It was a rocking funeral fitting for a father of rock and roll. The stories here are as plentiful as the hundreds gathered both indoors and out.
Did you ever meet him?
Gator Wood brought this picture on a 25-hour motorcycle ride from Arkansas to be here Saturday. He says Bo Diddley saved his life twice. First, getting him off drug and alcohol addictions, and then when he was considering suicide after his wife's death.
And told him I really had enough, and I was checking out, and he said I couldn't do that because he'd have to live his life without me.
But now it's Bo Diddley that's gone.
And now I have to go on without him. And it's going to be real hard. Sorrowful
embraces for another life Bo Diddley saved. Jill Snyder became a massage therapist for Diddley 26 years ago when she was flat broke with a 4-year-old son, who's now part of her favorite memory of the legend.
Bo is this big black guy. He comes up to my son and he says, "You don't talk to your mama like that." My son has never talked back to me since.
Family and friends made a quiet procession into the funeral, including Billy Dino Downing, who drummed with Diddley in the 60s. But indoors, there was no holding back. Singing, dancing, and clapping. And the fun-loving Diddley is what Downing remembers, especially his fondness for practical jokes.
Gluing their shoes to the floor, things like that, the musicians, you know, those are the kind of things that we remember. And the cooking, he could love to cook.
They named the Bo Diddley beat.
But it was his contributions to rock and roll that more people are familiar with. Legendary photographer Bob Gruen says Diddley was sought after even by the other icons.
When he was coming to America with the Beatles in 1964, they asked John Lennon, "What's the first thing you're going to do in America?" And he says, "I want to meet Bo Diddley," because Bo Diddley was the guy.
But for the thousands that saw him in person in North Central Florida, Bo Diddley will always be the guy.
It's a great loss. It's kind of the beginning of the end of the era here, but not the end of rock and roll, because rock and roll will go on forever, thanks to Bo Diddley.
He might have been a rock and roll star to some people, but he was really a friend to a lot of others.